Okay, everybody, my 110th movie review. And my first one to have Robin Williams in it? How does that even happen? Okay, everybody, today we're going all the way back to 1986 to take a look at a movie that, for some reason, when the really good comedies of its time are mentioned, it doesn't get mentioned, and I don't understand why. We're going back to look at The Best of Times. But before we go any further, once and again, and as always, to the trailer.
Everyone has something in their life they wish they could do over.
You dropped the ball.
You dropped the ball. I've simply been known as the man who dropped the ball.
Jack Dundee did something so awful.
You remember, Reno remembers, the whole goddamn town remembers.
Okay, I remember.
Oh, I knew it!
So humiliating. So unforgivable.
Get out!
He'll never live it down.
Jack, you got no shame at all.
His only chance is to live it over.
You can't rewrite history.
Why not?
It's an unnatural act.
Jack, there is no such thing as an unnatural act. I should know.
I've just come up with the big idea.
You're going to replay what game?
Jack, you can't play that game again.
I am throwing down the gauntlet. Ow! We can raise Taft out of lethargy.
You think Taft's lethargic?
You're damn right it is. Proud of it.
We accept the challenge.
Let's play some football!
You're torturing
Elly! I come up with the meaning of life and you call it torture?
Jackie's out of the house.
Mr. Weasel's here.
That is gross, Dad.
He changed his life and the town forever.
Are you horny to win?
What do you think?
I think it's pathetic.
Makes a grown man want to cry.
Robin Williams, Kurt Russell,
What do I do now? Be cool. Be what?
The Best of Times.
Look at all that phony pseudo-macho posing. They look great. Yeah.
I'm having a ball.
Okay, this motion picture was directed by Roger Spottiswoode. Okay. Anyway, he did stuff like The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Under Fire, and Shoot to Kill, and The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper, and Turner and Hooch, and Terror Train, and The Immortal. Amazing. Greatest motion picture of its time. Stop or my mom will shoot. Ha! That's sarcasm. Anyway, so he did some stuff, he did some stuff you might have liked, you might have known. Did some shit. Whatever. Let's keep going. Playing Jack Dundee is a man who needs no introduction. I'm going to just spit out a whole bunch of shit that it's going to boggle your mind. Anyway, let's roll. We're talking about he was in stuff like Popeye and Good Morning Vietnam and Dead Poets Society and The Survivors and Moscow on the Hudson and Miss Doubtfire and Good Will Hunting and The Birdcage and Jumanji and Patch Adams and Bicentennial Man and a whole bunch of other shit that I'm sure I'm not even remembering. But he was in them all. Legendary career is what it was. Playing Reno Hightower. Everybody knows my favorite actor on planet Earth, and this is he, the Kurt Russell. Let's go. We're talking about stuff like The Thing, and Used Cars, and Escape from New York, and Big Trouble in Little China, and Silkwood, and The Mean Season, which everybody should see, and Breakdown, and Backdraft, and Soldier, and Overboard, and Captain Ron, and Hateful Eight, and Death Proof, and favorite actor of all times, folks. Right, probably just right above the Eastwood by just Kurt Russell. Okay, playing Gigi Hightower. She was around. Pamela Reed. Let's go. We're talking about she was in stuff like Kindergarten Cop. She was in The Right Stuff. She was in Eyewitness. She was in The Long Riders. She was in Junior. She was in Cadillac Man. And she was on TV like, NCIS LA, Jericho, Parks and Recreation. So, if you see her and you see her face, you might not jump out at you. I mean, she's not going to fly into your mind like fucking maybe like a Meg Ryan would or something, but she was on the scene doing her thing at the time. Is what it was. Playing Elly Dundee, Holly Palance. Not really a big acting career. Daughter of Jack Palance for any fun trivia matters, but, you know, she did some stuff. We're talking about, she was in The Omen, remember? She was the nanny or whatever, and The Comeback. And she was on TV, like, you know, Brett Maverick, and she was in The Thornbirds. And she was the host, which is what I always remember her for most, is Ripley's Believe It or Not. So when I went and seen this, I was like, oh, Ripley's Believe It or Not chick. Yeah, that's what it is. Playing the Colonel, Donald Moffat. Let's do this. Anyway, he was in stuff like Earthquake, Popeye, The Thing, The Right Stuff, Regarding Henry, The Bonfire of the Vanities, Clear and Present Danger, and a massive amount of TV work that I'm not even going to get into because it's just fucking ridiculous. Anyway, Donald Moffat, around for a long time, was into stuff. And by the way, I should point out, if you look at the cast from this motion picture, you're going to realize that everybody worked together at least on 2 or 3 other flicks. You're going to see Moffat had worked with fucking Robin Williams, and he worked with, you know, Kurt Russell. You're going to see this one worked with that one in 2 movies, and that one worked with this one in 3 other movies, and that one... It's like a family get-together in this thing. Just saying. Okay, playing Charlie. Emmet Walsh. Talked about it before. Going to talk about him again. Let's go. We're talking about he has been in stuff like Critters, and The Jerk, and Brubaker, and Blade Runner, and Slapshot, fucking Serpico, and Cold Turkey, which is an old forgotten movie that should never be forgotten, and Raise the Titanic, and Silkwood, and Big Stan, and White Sands, and Raising Arizona, and Fletch. So, big career, massive career. Was in so much shit, folks, just the way it goes. Playing Schutte. R.G. Armstrong. Let's do this. We're talking about he was in stuff like The Predator, and The Car, and Lone Wolf McQuade, and The Beast Within, which everybody should check out, and White Line Fever, and Race with the Devil, and Evil Speak, and even popped up Dick Tracy. So, big career, massive career. R.G. Armstrong. Do you see how many of these people are the people that I love in motion pictures, and they all descended on one flick? Oh! Speaking of playing Mac, Dub Taylor. The cast of this movie is like, oh, Jesus Christ, like a fever dream, man. It's awesome. Anyway, here we go. We're talking about he's been in stuff like Used Cars, 1941, Moonshine, County Express, Gator, Burnt Offerings, Creature from Black Lake, The Getaway, A Man Called Horse, The Wild Bunch. Been in everything, people. Everything. I gotta get going because I'll just stay on the cast all day. Okay, everybody, I'm going to give you this story in 90 seconds or less, so I can keep it fast, keep it quick, keep it moving, entertaining. And where do we want to get to anyway? Come on, you know it. Destination! So, without any further ado, let's get this. You got Jack Dundee. Married, works at a bank run by his father-in-law, got the job there because he's married to the guy's daughter, but he's haunted, he's tormented. He played in the famous football game of, I think, 1972. And what did he do when he could have won the game with a perfect pass placed by Reno Hightower himself? He fumbled the ball. And still to this day, he is always known as the man who fumbled the ball. He can't take it. It drives him crazy. He obsesses about it. He hides in the back room watching the film over and over and over again. He goes out to a prostitute ranch, and he doesn't sleep with the prostitutes. He just lays in bed and talks about how upset he is that he dropped the ball. Is it is. Anyway, he gets a bright idea one day, given to him by one such prostitute, why don't you just play the game over? And he says, yeah, why don't we play the game over? Well, first he has to go talk to Reno Hightower, who was at one time the star athlete of the town. He scored not 1, not 2, not 3, but 37 touchdowns in a single game. And, well, he's not the same Reno Hightower anymore. Now he works at a body detailing shop, fixing VW bugs and painting dirty pictures on the side of vans. That's basically where his life is, and kind of where it's just settling. Reno's going through a lot of marriage problems. Jack's going through a lot of marriage problems. Their wives leave them, but the wives are best friends, and leaving them is only so serious. Long story short, let's wrap this up. Jack sits there and he gets a plot and a plan to get Reno involved. And it works. He gets the whole town involved. And it works. And before you know it, the game is on. Will they relive history and go down in a ball of flames? Will this time they be victorious? And the stench of his history be erased? Not going to tell you. I'm not going to give you too many more details. I want you to see it for yourself. Anyway, that's the gist of it. Let's move on. Okay, everybody, what makes this motion picture work? And this motion picture does work. It's one of those movies that, as I said before in a couple other flicks, you walk out happier than you walked in. It just gives you that feeling, gives you that vibe. There's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. Let's go through the basics. The directing, it's pedestrian. It's solid, but it's pedestrian. And that's good enough for a flick like this. You don't need something that looks outstanding, amazing, or anything. It just tells the story. And actually, those are kind of directors I really like. Somebody that just tells the story. No trick shots, no bullshit. Just tell the fucking story. The writing, listen, the jokes, the shit, it's all funny. It all works. That's all in there. Not even going to get into it. You'll hear them when you're there. The acting. Here's where I start to lose my shit. We are talking about some of my favorite actors, all smash banged into one goddamn flick. You got Kurt Russell. Enough said. You got Robin Williams, even though it's his first time he's popped up in any of my fucking reviews. Legend. You're talking between R.G. Armstrong and Dub Taylor and Emmet Walsh. You're talking, I mean, come the fuck on. It's everybody. And they deliver, and they're hilarious just for being themselves, and they're fucking funny as shit in this motion picture. Second thing that makes this motion picture great is this motion picture is relatable to everybody on certain degrees. One, everybody can relate to something like, oh man, if I could do that, then I would have this, I would have became the big this, I would have done that. Everybody does shit like that. That's fine. Two, everybody also knows the people in this motion picture. They're just normal folks, people. Maybe a little bit amped up. Maybe a little bit of comedy thrown in, but you can sit there and watch somebody in this motion picture and say, I know that guy. I know that girl. I know that guy. I know that girl. So it's very relatable and very fun and very lighthearted. And finally, simply put, it is funny as hell. If you like those kind of quirky humor flicks, you know what I mean, where the humor is not quite the deadpan, straight, real-life humor, but it's not the over-the-top, airplane, blazing saddles humor, and it finds that middle ground, you know, like a little bit of Overboard or Captain Ron. Wow, just keep naming Kurt Russell flicks because he's done numerous of these. That kind of shit, this motion picture will fill in there perfectly. It's right down the line. The most crazed character really is the Robin Williams character of Jack Dundee. I mean, he's probably, out of everybody in the motion picture, the most over the top. Kurt Russell plays it pretty close to true to life. Everybody else is in there mostly. Donald Moffat maybe just a tad twinks it high. But everybody's in there kind of close to life, except for the Jack Dundee character. He is just insane. You know what I mean? He's so obsessed. He's so crazy. He's so fucking neurotic. But it is funny, and it is a spot-on performance. Everybody, all I'm going to end this with is, if you get the shot, go check out Best of Times. It does not get the recognition or love that it deserves. You have two powerhouse stars that are masters of comedy and drama, by the way, but doing comedy in this motion picture together, and they make it work seamlessly. Don't let this one go under your radar. Don't let this one be forgotten. Don't let this one go underappreciated, because it delivers, and you need to see it. Anyway, once and again, and as always, be good, stay out of trouble, look out for a friend, help a neighbor, be kind to a stranger, and above all else, under no circumstances, ever take any bullshit from anybody. See you soon.